Welcome everyone. Good night. Welcome to the Healthy Reset. And today we want to empower you with more knowledge through education, through what we are, our purpose for being online is to enlighten you so that you can be able to deal with many of the symptoms of menopause. So we are dealing with hair loss and in relation to menopause. Is it related? What can we do to help with this issue many women are going through and not many are talking about hair loss during menopause? And I want to put an emphasis tonight on stress. How stress during this part of our life is related to hair loss and other factors as well. So the topic tonight is menopause, hair loss, prevention. Anyone can relate to this topic that I'm talking about tonight? That nice, long, lustrous, wonderful hair you had when you were younger, when you were before this menopausal time, and now that hair has becoming, beside getting gray, it is becoming thin, listless, dull. You might have patches where you have some probably patches of baldness, and all of this can be related to the transition during menopause. And in many cases, it is not permanent. So could just show a hand on anybody who can relate to their hair not being as it was when they were younger or before menopause or even perimenopause. You could give me a show of hand or a thumbs up. Thank you, Dr. Kat.
I know I am one person.
Yes. Thank you, Makisha. So we know that this is a topic that not a lot of women would discuss openly, but it is something we all are going through. Many are going through, not all, but many women during this transitional process are going through. There are steps that can be taken to treat hair loss and improve the quality of your hair during menopause. Following these tips could keep your hair, or as some people say, your locks, healthy and strong. Now we know menopause is a natural biological process that all women experience at some point in their lives. During this time, the body goes through numerous physical changes and it adjusts to the many fluctuating levels of hormone. Many women, like myself, have unpleasant symptoms during this time in their lives. For example, the very popular hot flashes, mood swings, night sweats, insomnia, hair loss is another common occurrence. Hair loss tends to be a bit more subtle in women more than men. Most women experience overall hair loss and thinning rather than that noticeable bald spot that men would have. The thinning can occur on the front, sides, or the top of your head. Hair may also fall out in large chunks or clumps during brushing and showering. Research suggests that hair loss during menopause is the result, as we know, of the fluctuating imbalance of progesterone and estrogen during this time. Specifically, it's related to lowered production of estrogen and progesterone. These hormones help to grow your hair faster and stay on your head for a longer period of time. So when the levels of estrogen and progesterone drop hair grows more slowly and becomes much, much thinner. A decrease in these hormones also triggers an increase in the production of androgens, which is actually a group of male hormones. Androgens, what they do with women during this time, once they are very prevalent, during this time, they shrink your hair follicles, resulting in hair loss on the top of your head. And in some cases, however, these hormones can cause more hair to grow in places where you don't want the hair to grow. That is why some menopausal women develop what we call facial hair, which is a term they can be used as well, that they call peach fuzz, and which are small sprouts of hair on the chin. Anybody could relate to that? For women going through menopause, the cause of hair loss is almost always related to hormonal changes. However, there are many other factors that can contribute to hair loss during menopausal period. These include extremely high levels of stress. And ladies, we know we can embody stress. And sometimes we might figure, people may figure, not just we, that we are superhuman and that the stress may not affect us, but eventually it does. And in menopause, it can be very extreme when it's coming to your hair. These include extremely high levels of stress, which could be common with a lot of women who are going through illnesses. You know, a lot of illnesses raise the head during this time, or lack of certain nutrients that we may be lacking during the menopausal period, which can contribute to hair loss during menopause. Diagnostic tests that can help rule out other causes of hair loss include thyroid tests or a complete blood count. Hair loss may make you feel very, very self-conscious about your physical appearance, but the condition is not generally permanent. So what are some of the things you can do to help contribute to the decrease in your loss of your hair during this time? Now, a lot of people always say this: reduce stress, reduce stress, reduce stress. Reducing stress is very important, especially at this time. It's important to keep your stress levels in check. Why? Because it will help your hormones to be more balanced at this time. Stress can be one of the biggest factors and contributor to hair loss during this time. Reduced estrogen production can affect your brain chemistry, ladies, and cause mood swings, anxiety, and depression. However, doing yoga, breathing relaxation, which I do on a general basis at work, many times, you know, sometimes people, they push you, or they talk to you in a way, or they put you in a situation, or you get in a situation that you may be very stressed out. And I find that just taking some deep breaths, 2 quick breaths sometimes, it helps to help me get refocused and not be as angry or stressed during an incident or situation, or just the stress of the day, the workload. Breathing exercises really relaxes you, ladies. I've been trying it, and it works. And many times I get up in the morning, I do that as one of the first things in the morning. I get up and take some deep breaths, and it helps relax my whole self. It is a really, really important something that you could really adopt. So breathing exercises methods are especially effective in fighting menopausal symptoms. Exercising regularly can help reduce stress. Why is exercise important? One of the things I have found exercise does for me, I don't know if you ladies can relate to that, what it does, it takes my mind off of the problems and stresses that I go through, and I can breathe as while I'm doing my exercises, and that in itself helps to relax me. I listen to the birds when we go walking, when we go hiking. I speak with other women, speak with other people. I interact, right? And that in itself, that interaction and being outdoors and exercising helps me to feel pumped up, positive, and it decreases stress. And you know that when we are stressed out, the stress hormone, which we know very much now through this program, which is cortisol, is very much reduced, and it helps when that cortisol is reduced, it affects a lot of things positively. That decreased cortisol, and one of the things it does affect in a positive way is your hair starts to grow. Now, one of my stresses, my biggest stresses, is my job. When I'm on holidays, when I'm taking a vacation from work, I look so totally different from when I'm on the job, because it is one of my worst stresses. No matter, many times people say, don't take it on, try to relax, but being away actually from my job is one of my biggest relaxational points and my high points in my life to reduce my stress. So it is important for me when I'm there to find ways for me to decrease my stress levels, because being a healthcare provider is one of the most stressful jobs anybody, anywhere, who is honest can really say can increase your stress on a general basis. So what is another thing we can do? Well, we spoke about exercise, which is a key component. You'll feel stronger, happier once you incorporate exercise into your general routine, ladies. Exercise is something that, it is a mindset, and it is something that we need to do on a general, regular basis to help to mitigate the effects of menopause, menopausal symptoms during this time. So when you really have a good exercise session, you come home, you take a nice warm bath, or some women like to take a cold bath, relax, which is the cold, they say studies have shown that a cold bath really and truly is good for you. So you take a nice bath, relax yourself, have a cool environment, and by working out like that, it will help to reduce stress levels. And when those stress levels are reduced, it will cause less impact on things like hair loss. You'll sleep better. You will be in a better mood. You will be in a position not to take things as personal as when you're not exercising, because a lack of exercise too causes you to be pent up. You're always uptight, right? So with exercise, and it is like a freedom for your body. Your body is the system becomes so happy to get that relief of that pent up stress. So exercise is really a great way to get rid of the extra stress in our system that can contribute to hair loss. What about eating well? We cannot emphasize how important it is to eat a healthy diet. Eating a well-balanced diet, low-fat diet is your best defense against hair loss. Make sure you include an adequate amount of whole grains, fruits, and vegetables in every meal. And when they say veggies, I would say a fresh salad, raw fresh salad, as well as steamed veggies, protein, and a smaller amount of carbs on your plate because we need carbohydrates for energy. So once we incorporate a healthy diet, we have a healthy lifestyle, we manage stress, all these can contribute to reducing hair loss during this time. Another factor we can do is drinking green tea, which I've incorporated on a general basis. And what I say to my patients is that I do not tell them to do things that I do not do. So on a general basis now, I brew my tea, my green tea. Some days I would have black tea. Some days I would have dandelion tea. I brew my tea on a regular basis, carry it to work with me, and I have it on a daily basis. And it really is calming. The stomach is so much calmer. It is less gassy. So incorporating green tea and other healthy teas in your diet is really helpful to controlling a lot of the imbalances there. Dandelion tea is one that is known to help to reduce and manage imbalanced hormones at this time. And it is also a diuretic. So ladies, if you're taking, you're drinking dandelion tea, I suggest you do not drink it late at night, or else you'll be up using the bathroom on a regular basis. So I use it from the early morning up to a certain point in the day, and that's it. It is also important, beside the green tea, taking B6 and folic acid supplements may help to restore hair growth as well. Essential fatty acids also play a crucial role in maintaining hair health. These fatty acids can be found in the following foods: salmon, tuna, flaxseed oil, walnuts, and almonds, which can be a good contributor to your hair growth at this time when taken on a regular basis. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We cannot underscore how important it is to drink your water, your fluids during this time. Your body needs to be hydrated in order to function. Remember, we are about 70+% water. Our vital organs need this water, this fluid, in order for it to perform at a high level. So your body needs to be hydrated in order to function properly. Load up on water all day long and pass on the juice, on the sodas, and all the flavored drinks. Pass on that. They contain more sugar than your body really needs. The amount of water needed varies from person to person though. And it also depends on various factors, including your overall health and your exercise intensity. As a general rule, however, you should aim to have at least 8 glasses of water per day. Keep it natural. In order to prevent drying and breakage of the hair, it's best to stay away from too much heat tools, such as hair dryers, straightening irons, extensions, which, we love, right? It looks beautiful, but everything in proportion. And these styling methods can cause weakening of the hair and cause hair loss. If you must dye your hair like myself, try to be as natural with your hair colors, natural products as you could. Artificial chemicals found in dyes and perms can compromise your scalp and your hair health. When you wash your hair, always use a nourishing conditioner to keep your scalp healthy and to promote hair growth. And if you swim on a regular basis, make sure you wear a swimming cap, as chlorine can be a contributor to your hair being brittle and breaking. When out in the sun or the wind for a long period of time, it's important to wear a hat to protect your hair from drying and breaking. Talk to your doctor about different various medications that may be effective during this time. Everybody doesn't have the same needs when it's coming to hair loss. There might be different things that are affecting your hair loss that may not be affecting somebody else. So you talk to your doctor when the bloods are taken. Different results may vary, most likely, and you may need something different to someone else. So not because something may work for someone else, it would work for you. So when you do your bloods, you talk to your practitioner, and they will work out a plan for you according to what your body presents. So it is important. But I want to emphasize, ladies, I want to talk about this time about a little more on stress, and what stress, how to know that your hair loss is not just through menopause alone, but can be a result of stress related to stress. Can stress cause hair loss? And what is the connection? Yes, we know stress can lead to hair loss. And studies suggest that stress does impact your hair follicles as well, causing hair to fall out. Factors like physical and emotional stress, injury, and anxiety can trigger hair loss. Incidents like accidents and what we spoke about before, like hospitalization and things like infections, financial burdens, death of a relative or a loved one, work-related issues are very, very significant contributors to stress. Fortunately, stress-related hair loss is usually temporary and lasting for only 3 to 6 months in some cases, but some cases more, before your normal hair cycle resumes. Types of stress related to hair loss. There are 3 main types I want to talk about at this time that may affect your hair loss and may be linked to stress. One is something that is called telogen effluvium. Telogen effluvium is a condition where stress or trauma causes hair follicles to enter a resting phase. Over several months, these hair follicles fall out when washing and combing your hair. However, this condition is not very severe, and the hair tends to grow back after a few months. We also have trichotillomania, also referred to as hair pulling out disorder. It is a psychological condition in which the individual has this compulsive urge to pull out hair from the scalp, from the eyebrows, or other parts of the body when under extreme stress and anxiety. And remember, I say it is a psychological condition. Besides stress, this can also be an individual's way of dealing with uncomfortable, negative emotions, such as loneliness, frustration, depression, anxiety, and even boredom. And then we have alopecia. I know many of us heard about alopecia areata, which is chronic stress, is one of the primary reasons here behind alopecia areata, a condition that causes bald patches on the scalp. This is an autoimmune condition that occurs when the body's immune system attacks its own hair follicles. So these are the 3 main stress-related issues that is related to hair loss due to having extreme stress. So beside menopause, we have these conditions as well that may be big contributors to overall hair loss. So ladies, beside eating, beside drinking, health and having a healthy diet and all that we spoke about, having a positive mindset, I want to add to this. If you do not have a positive mindset in a lot of the things that you're going through beside menopause and the other issues that you may be going through in your life, being positive and having a positive mindset can make a lot of these conditions diminish and less stressful on your system. So it is a very important for you to at least talk to someone, have somebody that you can relate to and talk with so that you can help you alleviate some of these stresses that you're dealing with. And that is why we have this forum here as well. Sometimes talking about an issue and sharing it with other women, it can be a way in which you can, realize that you're not alone in this issue and that there is help for you, and and in many cases, it is not permanent. So I want to stop at this juncture here. The topic tonight, it is broad, but I don't want to overemphasize anything, and I don't want to overwhelm us with too much information, but I wanted to give you all the general information with hair loss and related to stress and how the other factors like exercise, the breathing, a healthy diet, and all of this, decreasing stress levels, how this kind of relate to your hair eventually growing back. So any questions here? Anybody want to contribute to with any experience that they've been having? I know I have my challenges with hair loss at this time because just as I told you, ladies, my job is my biggest stressor, and at my job, I experience most of my hair loss when I'm on a vacation. I'm back to normal. My complexion and all looks brighter when I'm not at my job. My hair grows much better, and I'm much in a much better. My body responds better to everything in a positive way. So we all have our challenges, and my job is one of my greatest ones. So I don't know if anybody want to relate to anything that or make a comment at this point in time. The floor is open to everyone. Anybody would like to say anything at this time?
All right, I just have a little contribution to make towards the hair follicles and damaging the hair. Now, listeners, I just need to tell you thank you for your contribution. Good night to everyone, including, of course, Dr. Khan and all the members who are here listening. One of the contributing factors towards the losing of the hair is that sometimes we put these extensions too in our hair, right? And it gives us it doesn't allow the follicles to regenerate itself to produce healthy hair. And sometimes people say the extensions are light, but remember, anything that is added to your hair, it's a weight, right? So if you take a piece of extension and you put on your natural hair and you said, okay, so you just could imagine that you are putting extension all over your head. That will be and some areas of the head could take pressure and some just can't, right? The nape of the head cannot take pressure with most people. The side, which we will call the sideburns, cannot take pressure with most people. So we have to, and the front, which is also, remember when we reach this certain age, we have to remember that the possibility is that we are going to lose hair there. So if we decide, and that's the time we decide to really want to put on an extra look, because remember, our bodies, we will consider, is depreciating. So we would want to look good, which is good. But we have to remember that when the weight is on our natural hair, it can put even the wigs. Remember when we are wearing wigs for 8 or 9 hours, the wigs could really have a contributive factor towards the hair not being breathable, right? Because remember, we have a lot of cells there, and we need the scalp to be breathable. So sometimes we could cover, and sometimes we can't cover. And sometimes we wear wigs like for more than 8 hours a day. And some people, they love themselves so much, they go to bed with their wigs because they must look great every time around the clock. So we have to look at these um, contributive factors towards the losing of the hair, especially around menopause time. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. That's true. That's so very true, ladies. And it's a time when we all want to look our best. We want to look as, for want of a better word, as young as possible. Nobody likes to be called old and tired, particularly women, right? So it is a time when we want to keep that or restore that youthful look that we bit by bit that is being chipped away, so having your hair look on par or look really good is is very nice, but there are consequences to hair extensions and things like that, which is very true. Anybody else would like to make a contribution? I want to thank you, Ms. Atwell.
I just have one little thing to add again, if you permit me, please.
Problem.
We,
Welcome.
we talk about mainly about um, the inner help. The inner help meaning um, what we can do, the good foods and so on. And the inner help, I will also consider trying to avoid stress. All of us will have some sort of stress, but we got to know how to deal with certain things, because life is about the ups and the downs. So we cannot expect to live a stress-free life, but it's how we manage it. Remember, it will always come. So always be on the alert to try and fix it. Some stresses seems to be not fixable. So you leave that alone because it will not solve. That's the size of it. It just will not solve. The ones that are solvable, you try to solve them. But in addition to all of that nurse, I would like to find out if there is some oil or a specific oil or let's say a tablet that we can use. If it is that you said it already, I'm sorry. So you need to reiterate it, please. Thank you.
Okay. I didn't talk about any oil or anything on the program tonight, because that in itself is another session, different things that we can use. Because if I'm dealing with oils, I would deal with supplements that you could use to deal with that. But one of the oils that is very popular that I myself use on a general basis is rosemary oil, right? Rosemary oil, one of the things it does is it stimulates the hair follicles and it helps the hair to grow. Rosemary oil is one of the ones that I use on a regular basis. I know people who can talk about like oils like Botana oils. Botana oil is another popular one. I have never used it. I know it's popular on the internet and on social media, but I have never used the Botana oil. But I heard that it works real good as well. Minoxidil is something that I know they use for hair loss, and you go by the doctor, and that is a treatment you can get there as well. It helps with hair loss. But from what I've known and read about that, what you start to use it, you have to continue using it on a regular basis. So these are some of the oils that you can use. There are many others that you can use, but these are some of the more popular ones that are you could see that being shown on a regular basis on social media. But what I want to emphasize again here, ladies, sometimes you're using all the best products and everything, and you're stressed. Nothing will work until that cortisol level drops. It's like all right, for example, like you want to lose weight, and we know cortisol is a stress hormone, and because your cortisol levels are up, you tend to put on the weight around the midsection area. You're exercising regular, but your stress levels up, you're not sleeping well, you have anxiety, a lot of contributors, you have a lot of stress, and your cortisol is up. That weight, that belly will not go down until the cortisol is under control. Hence the reason why I'm emphasizing the importance of managing stress. Stress is management is important. We have stress, we have chronic stress that we have to deal with on a general basis, and there are stresses that Miss Atwell spoke about. There are things that, like for example, you had probably a bad experience as a child, you had probably abuse and different things as a child, things that that you cannot go back and fix. But what you can do is get the help you need, go by somebody who can help you deal with these stresses, because these things sometimes, many times subconsciously affects a lot of the other aspects of our lives. So you want to do certain things and you can't because you kept back because of a lot of things that people had said to you in the past. So getting these things out of your system is very good. Getting that professional help to deal with these things that silently are eating away at us, and we are not getting help for it, getting that psychological help to deal with stress, with these stress on a general basis, it could make a world of difference with dealing with problems that affected us from since childhood. And many times we grew up with that. We have these in our closet, clothes in our mind, and it is there, and it is eating away, it is gnawing at us, and we're not doing anything. And it generally affects a lot of things in our lives. So if you are like me and had some bad experiences as a child, and you're not dealing with it, ladies, it is important that you deal with it. None of us, we are not superhuman, right? And it affects a lot of things. And weight loss is one of the things that, these things that we have hidden and closed up inside, and yeah, it's just in there, and it can get you sick as well. So it is good that if you can deal with it as soon as you could, it would make a big difference in how you approach your problems in life on a general basis, and how you deal with stress when it comes. Anybody has anything to comment again in terms of their own experience with stress and how it affects you? Yeah, it's not a place to be shy, it's a place to share. So you don't know who we help when we share our experiences, ladies. It is important, that, we share, and know that, everybody would know that, you're not alone in their experiences. Right? So if anybody doesn't have any comment again, I'll turn to Dr. Khan and I'll give the floor over to him to close off first.
One other quick thing I would like to say, sometimes, and we are dealing with women, and women and their partners during this time of their lives. And sometimes things happen between us, or things might happen, and you prefer to keep it quiet. But keeping it quiet is one thing at that stage of your life. But Knowing how to treat with it, it's another thing. If you can keep it quiet at that stage of your life and manage it, it's quite all right. If you cannot keep it, if you cannot keep it quiet, you decide to have an auto shut off because you don't want to tell anybody. Look for somebody who you can speak with, because it's not necessary that because you have an automatic shut off, you don't have friends, right? So you must be able to talk with somebody. Look for a warm spirited person. Doesn't necessarily have to be very bright. For all you know, that person might be the perfect person to speak with because they may have a problem similar to yours. And that time of your life, you need to have reinforcement. When you are young, most of the things you can manage, or at least you think you could manage, but you really and truly cannot manage it. Not until you become a certain age, then you realize this thing is in me and I need it to come out, but I don't know how to start. But it must be a way that you can comfort your mind, because what will happen at that stage of your life, you, what you think is what you would look like. And we, at that time of our lives, I've never heard of a woman who doesn't want to look good, or who at least tries to look a little younger, a little 5 years younger at least. But it cannot work if you keep these things bundled up inside. You do not try to express it with somebody. It would not work. It will not be removable just like that. And the things that you cannot help with, leave it alone. Throw it behind your back and just continue walking. Shut it off and just continue walking. Things will change, life will be more durable, and you are going to reap the benefits of everything. Hair growth, looking good, the most ugly clothes that you find so ugly, when you put it on, that and all will look good. And then you know what somebody will say? Madam, you look very beautiful. It comes straight in, and then you bring it out. And that stage of your life is very crucial. And all of us want to live long. All of us want to look good. The cheap way. I don't know about you all, but I like it cheap, but it must look good. And what we have to do, we have to help ourselves. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. Specifically, it just will not work. And that's my contribution tonight. And I want to say thank you for allowing me to talk too much. And have a good night, everyone.
Thank
Hello,
you,
good
Miss Oswald.
night.
Good night, Sharon. Good night. Nice hearing you.
Good night. Good night. Good night to everyone. I've been
Good
working
night.
these days just a bit. I've been a bit detached, but I saw the topic tonight and I said, God, I need to come and really hear what's happening, and after listening to Mrs. Atwell, she's quite right that we need to talk, and she introduced me to this group, and it has been like 110% turnaround with me, because things that I used to stress about and worry about, and at one point I thought I had cancer, and I mean, it's, you just take it to that extreme, because there's so much things happening to your body. Even you nurse, when you talk about your experiences, a lot of it is what I have experienced myself. I remember going to work and just because of the dizziness, and I still want to going down driving, and my son in the car, and I just vomiting. I just had to vomit because of the dizziness.
Hmm.
Because you know you're going through the menopause and you're just trying to cope and trying to do everything, you know. And I just wanted to say that you know what Mr. Atul was saying is true, that we need to have people that we could talk to, and this group is what is all about. That we sit quietly and but is an opportunity for us to share and learn and so you know sometimes something is being said and I said, okay, Sharon, yeah, right. So you make the connection, and then you feel a little better about yourself, you feel a little better about what you're going through, because you know it's not you alone, and there are
That's
other
right.
people experiencing it. And you also realize, look, you know, I just learned a lot, you know, and it has helped me to sometimes I watch my food and it's looking so pretty because I'm trying to eat the way I'm supposed to be eating, you know, I'm trying to drink a lot more water, trying to the fasting. So I started fasting Sunday and I said, okay, Wednesday I'll also do it. And I did it for 2 weeks when we started. I didn't do it this week. I wasn't good this week. But even with that too. So with the 2 weeks I did well. This week because of work and how things are, I couldn't do it. And I you know, I said to myself, Sharon, that is okay. Next week we'll
That's
get
okay.
back there again.
That's
You
right.
know, and so I just wanted to say thanks. And what Mrs. Atwell was saying is true, that we have to be able that when we having these discussions, put on your mic and say something, you know, make a contribution. I went to do my hair and the lady saw a little spot that was going bald. She said, look here, like in the middle of your hair. And I realized that is, she told me, because probably I'm putting my hair up all the time. So I have it up there all the time. She says probably putting a little stress, and she showed me different ways I could put it, you know, to avoid and to
Mm-hmm.
massage my hair and stuff. So she said massage is really good. So like now I'm speaking to you, I start a massage because I remember to massage, so just to get the blood going and stuff and all of that. And I also use bentonite clay in my hair as well when I'm cleaning my hair, because we put so much products in our hair. You know,
Okay.
I've stopped using gel, especially the one for the edge, because I realized it looked pretty, yes, but it started to eat away at the, you know, the lining of your hair. And so as you say, sometimes we have to give up some of the things when we see we try it and then we realize it's not for us and we need to just move away from it, you know. But I just wanted to say thanks, and you know, it's really been a good walk so far since I have joined. I've learned so much, you know. So thanks, and you know, just to encourage everybody else. Himself, you know, we make our contributions and we figure, well, nah, boy. Because sometimes my husband and always say, so why you not ask the question? Why you didn't do this? Or why you didn't do that? You know, because sometimes he would sit in, you know, him, now you're listening and you wouldn't ask. And then so this is me just encouraging everybody else to contribute. Okay, good night.
All right. Have a
Good night.
All right.
good night. Good night. Thank you. So, Dr. Khan, thank you, everybody. And if not, there's no one else to say anything, we want to thank everybody who has been quiet and who has spoken. And I want to let Dr. Khan close off first tonight. Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. Wow, that was a powerful discussion this evening. As you can tell, I have my own hair problems. Not the same as menopause hair loss, but this multiple years. I massage it all the time. Nothing grows back. um, and I've had all the best remedies from all my very close friends, usually involving a donkey and what comes out of a donkey.
Okay.
That's what friends are for. But That being said, thank you everyone for being here. As always share, go on our YouTube channel, The Healthy Reset, which is directly behind me. Go like, share, and subscribe. Share to your friends, share to your family, share to your coworkers. Let them come on the channel. It's how we grow. It's how we meet more women and help more women through this change. And it's not just the women, but their partners in life, their family members, their daughters, sons. They all want to know how to help mommy, how to help my sisters, how to help my cousins to overcome this change in a way that's graceful and not overwhelming. So go share as much as possible. The way the algorithms work, it helps us to reach more women. The more you share, the more you like, the more you come and watch the videos. And if you watch the entire videos, that helps a lot. Put your comments. All those things help us to grow and to reach more women, and share this wonderful message we're trying to do to help people. So keep up the good work, keep up your support, and we look forward to always sharing our knowledge. Tonight we got into a lot of what stress is and what hair loss products are. So we're gonna go dive a little deeper into that beginning next year as we're winding down the year. We have a few more sessions coming up. To close off next week, I am live in an interview. I will try to stream it on the YouTube channel and hopefully on the Zoom link. I'll share that with you. And the week afterwards, we have another speaker coming on and we'll share what her topic is going to be about. And then we'll close off the year with probably one more session in December. And then we'll shut down until January before we restart. Of course, these videos are always available on YouTube, so you can go and rewatch. If you missed anything, you can go get information from there. And help us to grow. So as I close off, like, share, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for us. And we love you. We hope to see more of you and look forward to doing more work as we come down to the end of the year and into the new year. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Have a good night.